My husband's DNA test proved he wasn't the father, but my own results revealed an even darker truth. When my husband took a DNA test and discovered he wasn't our son's father, our world crumbled. I knew in my heart I had never betrayed him, so I took a test myself, desperate to prove my innocence. What I uncovered, however, wasn't vindication, but a truth far more shocking and terrifying than either of us could have imagined. You can spend years building trust, carefully stacking it like bricks, only for the whole structure to collapse in a single day. You never see it coming until it's already rubble at your feet. That was exactly what happened to me. But to make sense of it, I need to start at the beginning. Caleb and I had been together for 15 years, married for 8. I knew he was my person from the moment we met at a crowded college party. He wasn't flashy or trying to be the loudest voice in the room. He was the one refilling the snack bowls, chuckling at everyone's antics, and somehow he noticed me. We fell in love fast, and even though life wasn't always perfect, we built something solid together. The real joy came when our son, Lucas, was born. The moment I held him in my arms, his tiny face scrunched and red from crying, I thought my chest would burst with love. Caleb cried harder than I'd ever seen him cry before. He told me that meeting Lucas was the happiest moment of his life, and he lived up to that. Caleb was an incredible father. He never framed parenting as helping me. It was never me versus him. We were equals in raising our son, but not everyone saw it that way. Caleb's mother, Helen, loved to make little comments about how Lucas looked nothing like her son. Caleb had dark hair, olive skin, and a broad jawline, while Lucas had been blond since birth with bright blue eyes. "Funny, isn't it?" Helen would say, her voice dripping with something sharp. "In our family, boys always look like their fathers." Every time, Caleb shut her down. "He takes after Claire's side of the family. It's not complicated." But Helen didn't stop. The day Lucas turned 4, she showed up at our house uninvited and announced that she wanted Caleb to take a DNA test. "I'm not doing that," Caleb said flatly, crossing his arms. "Lucas is my son. I don't need a test." Helen's eyes narrowed. "And how would you know who she's been with?" "Please don't talk about me like I'm not in the room," I snapped. "I know Lucas isn't Caleb's," Helen insisted. "In our family, boys are carbon copies of their fathers. Just admit who the real father is before Caleb wastes his time." "We've been together for 15 years. What are you even suggesting?" My voice was shaking with rage. "You've never seemed like a faithful wife," she hissed. "I warned Caleb about you from the beginning." "Enough," Caleb yelled. "I trust my wife. I know she's never cheated on me. I'm not taking a test." Helen smirked. "Then why not? If you're so sure, prove it." "This conversation is over," Caleb said, jaw tight. Helen left that day, but not before muttering, "One day, you'll see I was right." I tried to brush it off, but her words clung to me like thorns. For 2 weeks, things were calm. Helen didn't call, didn't show up. I started to hope she'd finally dropped it. But one evening, I came home from work to find Caleb sitting on the couch, his face in his hands. Helen was beside him, one hand on his shoulder. My stomach dropped. "Where's Lucas?" "He's fine," Caleb said quietly. "I dropped him at your mother's." "What's going on?" Caleb looked up at me, eyes red. "What's going on? My wife has been lying to me for years." My knees buckled. "What are you talking about?" He threw a sheet of paper at me. "Explain that." It was a DNA test for Caleb and Lucas. Probability of paternity, 0%. The words blurred as I read them. This doesn't make sense. You took a test?" "No, I did," Helen cut in. "I sent in samples from Caleb's toothbrush and Lucas's spoon. The results don't lie." "I never cheated on you," I cried, panic clawing at my chest. "This isn't true," Helen smirked. "Stop pretending. You've been caught." "No," my voice cracked. "You hate me so much you'd fake something this serious?" Helen's eyes were cold. There's nothing fake here. Caleb stood, his whole body trembling. I need space. I've packed a bag. Don't call me. Don't text me. Caleb, please, I begged, grabbing his arm. He pulled away and walked out, Helen trailing behind him. I collapsed on the couch, the test paper still in my hand. I knew it wasn't true. It couldn't be true. But how could I prove it? That night was hell. Lucas asked where Daddy was when he was coming back, and I had no answer. I couldn't believe Caleb had let Helen manipulate him so easily, but I also couldn't entirely blame him. She had shown him proof. I sent in samples from myself and Lucas. A week later, the results came back.